Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 20, KJV, with Bible study and commentary script. Scripture reading Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 20, KJV. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land, unto the place of Shechem, unto the plain of Moreh, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram, and said, Unto thy seed will I give this land, and there builded he an altar unto the Lord, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east, and there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south, and there was a famine in the land. And Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, Behold, now I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This is his wife. And they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her, and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entreated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen, and he asses, and men servants, and maidservants, and she asses, and camels. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues, because of Sarai Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram, and said, What is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou, She is my sister? So I might have taken her to me to wife. Now therefore, behold, thy wife, take her, and go thy way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had. Bible study and commentary script. Introduction. God's redemptive plan begins. Today, we enter one of the most important chapters in the entire Bible, Genesis chapter 12. From Genesis 1 to 11, we see creation, the fall of humanity, the flood, and the Tower of Babel. Humanity repeatedly turns away from God. Now in Genesis 12, God begins a new chapter of redemption. He calls one man Abram, through whom he will bless the entire world. This is not just Abram's story. This is the beginning of God's salvation plan that ultimately leads to Jesus Christ. Historical and cultural background. Abram lived around 2000 BC in the ancient Near East. He came from Ur of the Chaldees, a wealthy but idolatrous city. In that culture, family, land, and tribe meant everything. Leaving one's homeland was almost unthinkable. Yet God called Abram to leave security, tradition, and comfort. This call required radical faith. From a Hebrew perspective, Abram becomes the father of faith, the one who trusts God before seeing any evidence. Section 1. God's call and promise. Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. God commands Abram, Leave your country, your people, and your father's household. This is a call to complete separation and trust. Then God gives Abram 7 powerful promises. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great. You will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you. I will curse those who curse you. All families of the earth will be blessed through you. This final promise is deeply prophetic. From a theological perspective, this points directly to Jesus Christ. Through Abram's lineage comes Israel. Through Israel comes the Messiah. Through the Messiah comes salvation to all nations. God's covenant with Abram is not just personal, it is global and eternal. Section 2. Abram's obedience of faith, Genesis chapter 12, verses 4 to 9. Abram obeys immediately. He does not argue. He does not demand proof. He simply goes. Hebrews 11 later tells us, "By faith Abraham obeyed, not knowing where he was going." This is the essence of faith, trusting God without seeing the full path. Abram builds altars wherever he goes. This shows his priority worship before possession, even before owning the land. He worships the God who promised it. Spiritually, this teaches us, worship is not based on circumstances. It is based on God's promises. Section 3, the test of famine. Genesis chapter 12, verses 10. Soon after entering the promised land, a severe famine comes. This is surprising. God called Abram, yet hardship follows. Spiritually, this reveals a deep truth. God's calling does not remove life's tests. Sometimes tests confirm the calling. Abram goes down to Egypt, a symbol throughout Scripture of human reliance and worldly solutions. Section 4, Abram's fear and failure. Genesis 12:11-16. Abram fears for his life. He asks Sarai to say she is his sister. This half-truth leads to danger. Even a great man of faith can fall into fear. The Bible honestly records the weaknesses of its heroes. This shows Scripture's authenticity and God's grace. From a spiritual perspective, faith and fear often coexist in the human heart. Yet God remains faithful even when we struggle. Section 5, God's protection and sovereignty. Genesis chapter 12, verses 17-20. God intervenes. He sends plagues on Pharaoh's house to protect Sarai and preserve his covenant promise. Even when Abram fails, God does not abandon his plan. This reveals a profound theological truth. God's covenant depends on his faithfulness, not human perfection. Abram leaves Egypt corrected, humbled, yet still chosen and blessed. Spiritual meaning for today. Genesis 12 teaches us several eternal truths. First, God calls ordinary people for extraordinary purposes. Second, faith requires stepping into the unknown. Third, obedience brings blessing but also testing. Fourth, even when we fail, God remains faithful. Fifth, God's ultimate plan is to bless the whole world through Christ. Abram's journey is also our journey. God calls each of us to trust him, to walk by faith, and to become a blessing to others. Conclusion. Genesis 12 is the beginning of the great story of redemption. From Abram's calling to Christ's coming, God's promise continues to unfold. The same God who called Abram is calling us today. He calls us to trust, to follow, and to believe in his promises. May we walk in the faith of Abraham and live as people of blessing in this world. Thank you.